Ready.
The first experiment we did was voiceovers, which was inspired by the film Le Jeté. We discussed the use of some of the voiceovers, which helped the narration flow from one picture to another. The non-diegetic sounds were used as sound effects, which added to the eeriness of the movie. And in my own experiment, I mixed in some ambient sounds such as tidal waves and coffee brewing. The stills that I incorporated within the experiment was to describe how a homeless person wanted to commit suicide. I had audio backing track within the experiment, but it was removed because of copyright reasons. I couldn't use it because of the common licensing laws. The original voiceovers was recorded with the Roland MP3 player. Because of how we held the voice recorders, it made popping sounds when we spoke with P consonants. So I recorded the whole of the voiceovers on my iPhone, which is not too bad considering that's just a mobile phone. A handheld MP3 recorder can be used for convenience, but sound qualities may still be lacking where you have wind noises and popping. And also, I've made references to La Rue, which is filmed by a media student that's based on the soul of the Dutch royal family. It's also done in the same style as Le Jeté. The photographic storyboard and the high-end camera production, we filmed it at a location shoot on the private park and just a train station. The main point of the experiment was to showcase a range of creative shots such as establishing shot, close-ups of the actors that shows emotions. They were all captured on the Nikon D3000. The storyboard led to filming live action footages in 2 of the locations, and the video experiment that I produced included 12 different shots of angles. The photo montage of the cocaine scene from the film Superfly has some links to homelessness, as homelessness has some relation to drug abuse, and the video footages were filmed by the Sony NX Handycam on HD 1080p 25 frames per second. The stop motion animation, I originally wasn't here for the lesson and I created my own experiment at home, but when I took the stills, I didn't have a rostrum or a tripod, so the pictures became all different sizes and the whole animation became choppy. I gained inspiration from lots of different YouTube videos that's done by other people. And here's one video. Rostrum camera holds the camera directly over the artwork, so it can be moved closer and further, and is mainly used on flat 2D work. And British television works at 20 frames per second, so you could create 25 new frames for each second of screen time. This is called animating on once. And claymation is also another form of stop motion, which can be found in mainstream films and animation such as Wallace and Gromit, Morph and Shaun the Sheep. And this is another inspirational video that I found, which was made by a university student that I was doing illustration. They hand cut each stencil, and this whole 5-minute music video actually took them about a year's worth of work. They did this for their dissertation project. Lighting and screen experiment, we used a single camera production to film both exercises. And lighting is mainly used in stage productions to create emotions and set the atmosphere of the whole screenplay. We filmed this with actors, and we used redheads on a 3-point lighting setup, adjusting to either flood or spot lighting depending on whichever the actor is standing, so you can see them very quickly. And the audio that was recorded on boom mics was not very clear as it was held above them, but you can hear some sort of wind noise and echo in the background. So I removed most of the audio from my experiments. But due to some sort of technical faults, all of our video was filmed in a lower SC quality. And also adjusting the iris will help to let more light in low light conditions. And the iris is a mechanism used for aperture, which is a hole, and that lets in light and expands the depth of field. And also, if you set a high ISO, it adds noise, but it creates a brighter picture. And the video game also makes the picture grainy and pixelated, although the picture can also be seen brighter as well. For my final production ideas, I originally had an idea of a documentary soap which contained of 2 characters, and the main character being witches to rags. But I've now changed that idea because the narrative didn't make sense, and the whole film was disjointed. And the hardware that I will use for my production will be a Sony Linux G5 camera, a Panasonic G5, and a Sony NX Handycam tripod, and iPhone to record my voiceovers, and Mac to edit the footages, and audio producing software to create music sheets, and the voiceovers will help to create the narrative. Any questions?
Okay, I think you've been into the experiments quite well. Left it a little bit hanging at the end. I'd like to know a little bit more about. So you described the hardware, but not necessarily like how you would use it creatively. Like, what are you trying to like really get out of it? If somebody gave you that piece of kit, and you're like, wow, I could do anything I like with this. What is it that you'd really like to do that's different, that's...
I would use it to record ambient sounds. That's
What?
like...
Use what to record ambient sounds?
An MP3 recorder or
Okay.
my iPhone,
Right.
depending which resource I can get hold of.
Ambient sounds for your final production.
Yeah, for my final production. And I have...
How would you include those ambient sounds?
I have actually incorporated the ambient sounds within my final production,
Yes.
and it sort of helps to make the narrative flow in one sense to another, because she's sort of depressed, and tide waves, it's sort of a depressive sound going in and out, and it sort of differs from a loud and low pitch.
So you're essentially saying you're not going to use the audio that you capture as you video.
No.
You'll put in, so you've got you've got multi-tracks,
Yeah.
which is I'm trying to get you to use that kind of technical vocabulary, yeah, so that you can explain it to these guys so they understand. Yeah. Is there anything else you think you did innovatively, differently, creatively in your production, or you want to talk about any ideas that you took from filmmakers, advertisements, or anything like that to inspire your final production?
The film we watched, Into the Wild, has inspired me to create a hard, traumatical experience that my actor obviously faced. This sort of helps to relate to the homelessness theme, whereas my original idea didn't make sense at all. So I had to I incorporated some scenes from my original footage into my new production, and the scenes helped to link back to obviously our clients down below, as well as what potentially homelessness can be, rather than the stereotypical.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And there's some interesting camera work, or is it post-production in your... So some of the shots in the end have quite a particular kind of color saturation.
Yeah.
What is it that created that?
I used filter effects on my Panasonic G5 camera, and it's the impressive art effect. It increases the saturation, but it creates a surreal image, where it sort of leaves a halo glow around the object, which is kind of annoying.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of interesting. That footage, is it shot with that? So can you view it afterwards without that effect?
You can remove it.
You can remove it?
Yes.
Right.
But I don't know how to.
Okay, so you record onto your camera,
Yeah.
and then it records two separate files, one with that effect on it or one without that effect on it? I'm confused.
You can can take stills while recording the actual footage, but the stills is without the effect.
Okay, and the video's got that effect on, and you cannot remove it.
No.
Do you think that might pose an issue in post-production?
It did pose an issue because most of the shots, where it was in bright sunlight, it had a really, really bad halo glow.
Okay.
And I tried to use a colour corrector to sort of darken the highlights, but it didn't really make a difference.
So what would be a solution for that?
Not to use the filter again. When I
Okay, but let's say you wanted that effect at the end. You wanted to broadcast it with that. Yeah. Let's say you're making a music video. You want to broadcast it with that effect on. In the production process,
I could create the filter effect in After Effects or Premiere.
So I think the idea is to use white balanced footage to start out with. Yeah. Okay, okay. I think that. Has anybody else got any questions about the production? Well done, Helen.